Where the heck have you been? Welcome on back. It's Coach KC. So great to have you join us again. Conversations with the community. And I'm just fired up. My thanks to Kevin Armstead for putting this all together. Destination 831. Love talking to the artists, the performers, folks around here with interesting stories. And, well, they were available today, courtesy Chuck Brewer's joining me. I had a chance to check Chuck out at the Sportsman this past Friday night with the Chuck Brewer Band. We're going to talk about that. Chuck's here to talk about his latest CD, which is called Catch Me If You Can. Leo DiCaprio on line two. Wasn't that one of his movies? I love that title.
It was.
But it's so great to see you again. First of all, thanks for stopping on in.
Hey, man, thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's great to be on back.
It's good to do this again.
Oh, it really is. I mean, considering it was about a year ago, maybe a little longer, when you were in, about 2 years ago, when things were normal, and now we're getting a chance to reopen again. You're getting the creative juices flowing. It looks as if you were busy during the pandemic with your CD. I'm interested to find out about that. But let's start about your new adventure with the Chuck Brewer Band, rocking the place. Saw him at the Sportsman in Seaside on Friday night. Man, that was just a lot of fun. How did the whole band come together?
Well, we had this hiatus. So, I was in the El Dorados, and we weren't playing anywhere, and so I was trying to get some stuff together. I wrote some songs for this new record, this new CD, and then when things sort of opened up, we sort of went in kind of different directions. I figured it's time to really kind of put my own band together and do some of the things that I was more interested in doing, and some of my own music, and so found some friends, found the right people, and we started rehearsing. We probably rehearsed maybe about a month or so.
Wow.
Maybe 2 months, before we felt good enough to go out and do a show. We played 2 sets a couple of Sundays ago out at the Big Sur Vineyards winery tasting room out in Carmel Valley. And we had a lot of our friends came out there to see us. It went quite well. And then we had this show booked at the Sportsman, and we were going from a 2-hour show to a 4-hour show, so we had to learn a few new songs.
A couple more songs. You can't keep playing the same thing.
We're still working at that part out. But and we've been out 2 times, and whatever rough patches we've run into, we'll work on those and get them down. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
I would think, having been there on that Friday night, the place was not packed, thankfully, but certainly a great crowd. And you were just definitely rocking out. You could feel the energy in there, right?
Oh yeah. I could feel the energy. It's great being with that band. I think we had a nice little set list. We're playing some stuff that people weren't expecting.
That's one of the questions I had in terms of putting the set list together. Is that scripted out? You know exactly when you're going in and what you're going to be playing?
I usually put a set list together with the intention of playing all the songs in that order.
And it's a mixture.
Sometimes it doesn't go down that way. Sometimes we, depending on time, we may need to edit one out, skip one out, or maybe add another one. We actually played that whole 4 hours without repeating. I mean, we did repeat one at the end. They want us to do an encore.
Well, you had to, man.
We came back
at that time, man. That's fantastic. It really and what I really liked about the band, Chuck Brewer Band, was the fact that you guys, nice mixture. You had the originals, and then you'd go into one of the classics. How do you determine what classics to weave in and when?
Well, a lot of them are songs that I may have done before with other bands, so I kind of know them.
Your wheelhouse.
Yeah, and then some other songs that people like to do, and then maybe I'll be hanging around, I'll hear something on YouTube, I'll go, oh man, we got to do that one. Mm-hmm. And so that's how that one came down.
Gotcha. Now, give me an example of that, what I would have seen on Friday night that you performed.
Well, I guess one we did that was kind of new. I just picked up a version of it on YouTube. Is Todd Rundgren's song called "I Saw the Light."
Oh, okay, yeah. In Your Eyes.
Yeah, that one.
I saw that. I remember that. That was very well done. Yeah.
And
now, when a song, what was it that piqued your interest that made you want to take that song and
I'll tell you the truth. My daughter is a musician, and my daughter films herself going and playing songs. She plays a lot of songs that she's written, and she does some cool covers on her guitar and everything like that. And she did a really nice version of "I Saw the Light." And I said, you know what? I'm gonna steal that.
Very underrated artist, Thunderbird. runner, isn't he?
Very.
Yeah, brilliant though. That's a great call, man. Awesome. So that you'll just hear it and then work on it, guys. And it's your band, so you say, guys, this is what we're doing, or
Kinda.
yeah,
Kind of.
How do you like that being in charge of the band?
I do like it.
I know you do.
It's a lot more. It's a lot more free. Fortunately, the guys that I'm with, Rod and Jeff and Steve, they're all very supportive, and we're all kind of behind all the stuff that we're doing. I'm sort of the mind that if I want to do it, we should do it. But if other people, if everybody's not into it, then we shouldn't do it.
Yeah.
So we want to have everybody kind of enthusiastic.
Sure.
about
Oh
all
no.
the
Well, let me give you one of the things that I found, and I, doing covers, classic covers, all the time. A lot of folks playing Pink Floyd. A lot of folks, and boy, the edition, the rendition we heard on Friday night, "Comfortably Numb."
Uh-huh.
That was sensational.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, and the whole thing was just, it really had, so keep that one in.
That's
And
staying
could
in.
you tell that?
No, that's it. I'll tell you how that one.
Now, was
came-
that right? I thought you guys nailed that, and then the audience seemed to respond. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think it was relatively mistake-free.
Setting the bar high. Yeah, we didn't F that one
I'll
up.
tell you how that one came about
Yeah.
because I was looking on Steve Schneider, our guitar player. I was looking on his Facebook page, and I think his wife had posted an old video from the '90s of a band that he was in playing that song,
Right.
"Comfortably Numb," and I used to do that song back in Washington with this acoustic duo, and it was kind of a weird one to do. We're not,
Sure.
we don't have the whole band, but we're just doing that. And I was playing the leads on the saxophone. I said, well, we need to have that last one needs to be on the guitar.
Right.
And so I brought it up to Steve, and he said, yeah, let's do it. Love that song. So we went back and we did it. And now we can stretch it out a little
Sure.
bit.
Well,
and
he's
it's
really
a big
talented.
crowd pleaser. He's a great
Steve,
great
Snyder,
guitar player.
Steve, yeah, boy,
great
that was
guitar
super
player,
duper.
yeah.
You just reminded me of the sax. Is the sax? I didn't hear it on Friday night. Did I leave too early? What happened?
Not playing on a few
Oh,
songs.
okay, but not in the early set, right? Or
I mixed it in.
okay, yeah. And is that something that's still? Which one do you like playing? It's probably easier for you as a singer and everything to have the harmonica going, or does it matter?
I think more of my instrumental stuff is going to be on the harmonica than on the saxophone. But certain songs lend themselves, better to
Right.
to a saxophone.
Well, you're in my phone as Harmona Chuck. That's how I've got you in there. So you don't change that many instruments. Chuck Brewer is my guest. Conversation with Casey. And thanks again to Kevin Armstead, Destination 831. Catch Me If You Can is this beautiful CD that you've put together. I'd like to know, what was the inspiration for this particular piece of art, Mr. Brewer?
Oh, okay. So let's talk about the piece of art. So it's based on a song, the final song of the album. It's a theme song. It's a kind of I wouldn't say it's a dark song, but it's a song about death and loss and dealing with it. And the message is more about try to appreciate the people in your life because they may not be there tomorrow, Yeah. And so it's about dealing with that. And so I had the concept, and I worked with Brad Wright, this talented photographer and also another great guitar player, to do the photo. And so we went down to Point Pinos in December and did some shots around sundown. And the idea was going to be, me looking into the sunset, right, and dissolving, if you would.
Right.
So catch me before I go away. Here
That's
I am.
I'm telling you, it's truly brilliant, man. I am. So let's talk about what's inside the inspiration that led you. Is this a mixture of songs that you have accumulated throughout the years? Did you set out with with the intention of creating new material?
Well,
What got you going?
Okay, so that's a good question because
Thank you.
That's a very good question, as a matter of fact. These are songs that a lot of them I had written, but had never actually put together with a band or anything like that. And I'm very limited in my ability to do things like play guitar and accompany myself, as a solo musician. But I can compose. I can put chords together and stuff like that. So I had a number of those songs, and a couple that I had written recently but I'd never done anything with. I'd never recorded. And when we couldn't play, we couldn't rehearse, I went out and bought this program called Band in a Box. I don't know if you've heard of it or not. But Band in a Box basically has the ability, they've got some pre-recorded tracks that were made with studio musicians. And so you can pick a style, you can pick a tempo, you can plug in the chords, and then you can sort of pick the players and how their styles match with the songs. And so I put a number of these songs together, and then I did a couple of Facebook Live, concerts, by myself with my PA in my room, and the Band in the Box stuff playing behind me and singing these songs, and I thought, okay, this is kind of cool, but this is not that playing, singing to your phone sitting on a wall.
Yeah.
With something. It's not like being
kind of not the same. Is that what you're not the same as what I experienced with the Chuck Brewer Band on Friday night at the Sportsman?
Not the same thing at all.
But at least you were trying, and that kind of was the interest. It got you going on this.
Yeah, and I had these songs sort of put together, and so I said, well, you know what? I've got enough of these songs put together. I think I want to do a CD. And I had, it's one of my New Year's resolutions at the beginning of 2020 was to put out a CD.
Nice.
So
mission accomplished.
So I talked to Richard Bryan. I'm sure you know Richard.
Yes.
A very talented musician, singer, and producer, and engineer. And so we talked about the concept, and one thing I said, well, I can send you the raw wave files. We can record vocals and stuff over the top of it. And we actually went a little bit farther than that, because he went out and bought that program himself. And so I was able to send him the Band in the Box files, and then he was able to break out all the parts and remix them in his own software. And so, and actually edit some pieces out, edit some pieces in, add some other little bits. He does some.
Just do all the magic.
Yeah, he did some wizardly
whatever
stuff.
Those producer guys do to make you sound so.
And then
awesome.
we had people come in. I played some sax, I played harmonica solos, I sang vocals, I sang some of the backup vocals. Richard sang high harmonies beautifully, as he does. Kyle Kovalik came in and added guitar parts to it. Jesse DiCarlo, a bass player, we sent out and this was sort of done at the end. I mean, it wasn't one of these sorts of things where we get all the tracks down and lay down the vocals. The vocals were almost the things that came first. Wow. And then we came and started built around that. And I went back and re-recorded some of the vocals, but usually the first take on the vocals was what was there. Yeah. And so we had, maybe 5 or 6 songs, and Richard says, hey, I don't like the bass parts that come with the Band in the Box here. I'm going to send these out to Jesse and have him put a bass line in there. And it was like,
so you're assembling your own
so we're
wrecking
putting it all
crew,
together,
right?
exactly, the wrecking crew. Nice. And my old buddy Will Benson from the Eldorados came and played guitar on this one song that I'd written called "City on the Hill." Oh. And it was about a magical, mystical place called El Dorado.
Oh, wow, okay.
So it's a little history lesson.
Right, exactly.
A little history lesson about, the Spanish explorers coming and going through the West and looking for this, the cities of gold, right? And the idea is that the gold that's not the gold is. Sure,
it's right in there and down in here. Yeah. And connecting it is music that you provide, and a big part of. Let's talk about the Tribe in the Sky. I believe that's when I first had a chance to meet you.
Yeah.
Many, many years ago, when you were showing up with your saxophone, your lovely wife Rosie, your harmonicas, and just jumping up there and getting the whole thing going. Hopefully, the Tribe in the Sky is going to be firing up once again. What were those days like for you? And I would guess, as I recall, they were pretty important because they helped you establish a lot of relationships as you were just getting back in the area. Is that correct? Yeah.
That's very true, yeah.
How's that for a memory?
Hey, man, that's great. That's great. No, that was fun. There were when I was in Washington, I had a couple of bands together right before I came down here, but one of the things that I would do is there were these regular blues jams, a couple of different places, a couple of sort of open mic types and different types of things. And I would go, and I used to call it like bowling night. You
Right,
know?
sure.
Because you go there, you meet
Different
these other
shoes.
musicians. You
You can wear the shirt though. Maybe you can get away with that.
But you meet these other musicians,
Yeah.
right? And then usually whoever the host band would play a set, and then whoever's running the jam would have different little groupings they put together, and they'd come up, they'd do 3 songs, 4 songs. So it's like waiting your turn to bowl. You know, you're sitting back there chatting with your buddies, having a couple of beers,
Right,
and you go up there, and it's your turn to
Sure. Yeah.
roll a few, and then you come back there, and then maybe you go up again. So. You know, and that was a kind of a fun kind of congenial type of thing to do.
Right.
So I was looking for something here to kind of meet people and get established. And the Tribe in the Sky wasn't that exactly,
Right.
but it was close. And I did meet a number of
Kind of an on-ramp. At least you got to come
I
on
met
out
a lot
and meet
of
some
met a lot
people.
of cool musicians,
Yeah.
and reconnected with some people that I used to play with before when I lived down
Right.
there. So it was great.
And now, what do you do to help pay the bills besides on the? I mean, I'm sure the CD sales are booming, and the way you work the tip jar, this man gets paid when he plays.
Oh, no.
But what's
I
the
wish-
real
I
time
wish I was
job?
better at that.
I'll tell
No.
you, Michelle. You got to give a shout out to
No,
Michelle.
Michelle
Wasn't
was
she
great,
also
man.
the owner of the Sportsman? Oh, the love.
She
Oh,
brought that
she's
thing-
fantastic.
she brought that thing through.
If you didn't put at least a $5 in there, man, you weren't getting the hell out of her bar. Is what I was
You
saying.
know, and I've been trying to make it easier for people now too.
Oh, look at this guy. Thank you.
Because a lot of times people go in there and they think,
I don't have any cash,
I want to tip
man.
the band, but I don't have any cash.
Yeah.
No, I was like, hey,
Sorry, man. Next time.
here's my PayPal right
What?
there.
Oh,
PayPal your
no,
tips. I've
no.
even got a little QR code. Just
Oh, man.
you want to tip the band? I'll make it easy. You want to buy a CD? We make it easy.
It really is, and you have to adjust. And now, is that something you enjoy doing? Because a lot of times the musician is like, "Oh, shit, I don't want to do that." Right? So, am I correct in that? So, it seems to me like you're the guy says, "Hey, man, I can do this."
No, well, yeah. I mean, you ask what I do in my to pay the bills. I'm a salesperson, so
See, so it kind of
I can sell a little bit, yeah. But that's not. I mean, it is a little. You do feel a little cheesy going, "Hey, tip the band, give us some more money." You know, these people don't pay as much. You know, so you like have other people kind of make that message for you. And what Michelle did was very cool because you can put the tip jar in front of the band, and a lot of people go, "Oh, okay, man, maybe I don't have any money."
Right, yeah,
whatever,
okay, right.
But when she's coming in your face and say, "Hey,
give it
you
up,
go,
man.
okay,"
You don't want,
and that's one thing you don't want to do as a band. You don't want to be going on your break going, "Hey, here you go. I put some money in the tip jar." You don't want to do that. So it was very cool that she did that. And we that thing was pretty full.
Man, it's good,
So that was nice.
and well deserved as well. I was trying to do I was setting the total on the age of the band.
you got one of those scientific calculators handy
I was
or
looking
what?
for my abacus. I didn't have that handy. But boy,
How many zeros
there
do
was,
you want to go to here?
I said over 300, I think. But you mentioned my main man, Rod, back there pounding on the skins. How does he do it? What band is he not in? Let's start. Isn't that something?
Yeah, Rod is what we would call back in the day promiscuous. He's got a lot of.
Okay. He plays around quite a bit.
He plays around quite a bit. Yeah.
And that's something else, man. And it's interesting because after your first set, he came over to me. Of course, you stick the drummer in the back. He was just like in the attic in terms of the heat. The heat that he had absorbed in his body was so tremendous because the energy of the room on that Friday night. And it's just so great to be back. When you were in quarantine with your lovely wife, Rosie, what were the things that you missed the most about being out there?
Oh, playing in a band.
Yeah.
Playing in a band was the biggest thing. I mean, we did a couple of little acoustic things, but not much. I mean,
just the energy.
Just the energy of being out there and playing in the band and making music. And what's been so cool about this, and I think other people may have noticed it too. I mean, until things really opened back up, we had a lot of acoustic duos and singles and stuff like that. We went out and saw them. We went out and supported them, and it was all very well and good. But once bands started playing again,
right,
I'm telling you, people are going nuts.
Yeah,
they're loving it. They're out there dancing. They're coming. They're showing up. They're tipping people, and it's wonderful.
There certainly is. The old "you don't know what you got until it's gone" routine certainly was in play all throughout that, and that's what I really miss most was just the music, seeing my friends, people that I've gotten to know through the music, appreciating their passion.
You want to go do it.
And it's so great that they're back.
Can,
So let's talk about how are people picking up to, or how can they acquire Catch Me If You Can? I know you're doing a heck of a job selling them, Tell us how somebody can go about picking this up and supporting it.
Well, you can message me on Facebook. I've got a website, chuckbrewermusic.com. There's a link where you can buy it, or there's a little message page. You can send me a message. Take PayPal, Venmo, that type of thing.
Sure.
If you're local and nearby, I can deliver it. If you come to one of our shows, I'll have somebody at the shows. You can download it on Bandcamp, digitally.
Bandcamp? One summer at Bandcamp? Really? I'm just teasing. That's all.
Yeah, so at bandcamp.com, chuckbrewer.bandcamp.com, you can get it there. It's streaming on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, all that stuff.
He's got one song here that's very autobiographical for me, or at least it used to be.
You drink too much?
Oh, man, he chucked on my line. Son of a gun, Chucky Brewer.
Sorry, baby.
No, that's all right. No, it's just fantastic, and I love it, and I certainly am fired up for you.
That's one of the newer
what's
ones.
happening.
That was one of the newer
Yeah,
ones.
it was, I think.
It was just an idea that came. Sometimes
Really?
songs come to you.
Now, were you hungover when you wrote that,
No,
or what?
not really. No,
not really.
Not any more than usual. But sometimes a line just kind of comes to you.
Yeah.
And you go, I think I'll build a song around that. And this one, I just came up with somebody who says, I drink too much because I think too much.
Yeah.
Okay, and so then it becomes a song about heartbreak, because your girl left you, blah blah blah. So I'm drinking, and it's kind of a funny song, I guess you could say. It's a kind of not a serious song, but
Right.
it's a kind of a rockin' little.
Do you like writing those type of songs versus the other, like a sadder, more gut-wrenching, grief-eating type of tune?
I'm kind of all over the place,
Yeah.
and I think that's one of the
Yeah.
things about this album. It's very eclectic in terms of genres. I mean, there's kind of a blues, there's a kind of a country,
Definitely blues and a country vibe.
country vibe to it. There's a little bit of a progressive vibe to it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of pop songs with some pretty hard rockers. There's a lot of different influences.
And who were your influences when you were starting out, growing up, the things that you would crank it up and have to hear again?
Oh, I think I was, obviously the Beatles, the Rolling Stones. I was very much into the psychedelic rock, that came out, and the Jefferson Airplane and things like Jimi Hendrix and Cream. I loved the guitar sounds that Jimi Hendrix was making.
So it was a guitar that you first heard that got you in?
I've
or
always been a real admirer of guitar players. I wish I could play one because those are the people that I gravitate to.
But yet you had a choice, or how did you start playing either the harmonica or the horns? What made you say, "Yep, that's the way I want to go"?
Well, true confession. In middle school and high school, I was in the band. I was a clarinet player, and so the clarinet isn't really
So
cool.
I'm going to move just a little bit further away.
But
the nerd factor's rubbing off.
At one point when I was starting to,
Did you start with a recorder? Did you guys have the recorder? The little
second grade.
Yeah.
I think I actually still own a recorder.
Okay, man, I love the recorder. Taught myself how to play Mary Had a Little Lamb on that bad boy. So it was a clarinet that you picked up. You started playing.
And so
Benny Goodman.
Benny Goodman.
One of my father's favorites.
My mom wanted me to play like Benny
Okay,
Goodman.
so there was an influence.
It never
perhaps,
went down that way.
No, but still okay.
But so then I got a saxophone. I figured if I could play the clarinet, I could play the saxophone.
Yeah.
I started noodling around on the saxophone. I played it a little bit back in a band I was in way back in the '80s here called Cousins. I played an alto sax. And probably, I don't know, maybe about eight or 10 years ago, when I sort of started getting back into making music in Seattle. And I've been playing the harmonicas all along, but I was doing this acoustic duo with a guy, and we were doing songs that, it's my harmonica playing has actually evolved because of that, because I'm not a typical blues harmonica
Well, you
player.
got the whole case, right? You
Well,
show up prepared.
I've got different keys for different songs, but my style is more melodic, because I was playing with this guy, and we were doing things like Tangerine by Led Zeppelin, and so I'm trying to duplicate guitar leads and melodic leads and stuff like that on the harmonicas. I had to learn how to play those as opposed to just honky donk bonk bonk.
Sure, right, yeah.
But Again, there were certain songs that just didn't lend themselves to that. So I started playing. Getting the saxophone. Started playing the saxophone on those, and it worked out a little bit better.
That's great. Do you have a particular instrument that you enjoy playing more, or just like any kid, you can't pick your favorite?
And I don't know, probably.
Or maybe you can pick a favorite kid. I don't know. You're kid, so that could.
I don't know. I've been playing the tenor sax, and I just recently got an alto for a couple of songs I thought were a little bit better suited for it. And I like the sound of the alto. It's got a nice little sweet sound.
Really cuts through, and the way you perform it is something special. Chuck Brewer Band is going to be performing locally. You're going to be at Sly McFly's. It's going to be a Monday Night Madness, July 12th. Before that, a gig in San Juan Bautista. Tell us how we can follow you, and tell us about these gigs coming up.
Okay, so San Juan Bautista, the 18th Barrel House, Friday from 5:30 to 8.
Am I correct? In we're coming into July 4th weekend?
We are.
Where the hell have I anyway?
Friday, July 2nd.
Okay, second. Okay.
So kick it off with a little party up there in San Juan Bautista.
San Juan Bautista. All right.
And then the next one that we have booked is going to be at Sly McFly's on July 12th, Monday night, 9 to 11:30. So it's a.
Understand there's a
I know it's a
special
school night and everything like that.
Isn't
but
there a
that's what's
special
gonna-
event or occurrence associated with that?
It's going to be Monday Night Madness. It truly will be. It's going to be our drummer Rod Wilson's birthday.
Oh, wow.
And we're going to be celebrating that, and everybody needs to drop by and wish Rod a happy birthday. We're probably going to have a couple of interesting guest artists kick in with us and stuff like that. So it's going to be a party. We're going to rock out Slides on Monday night.
That's good, man. And then what else? People want to keep in touch with Chuck Brewer, Brew Crew Band. How do we do so? Just mostly through the Facebook? And
Just follow me on Facebook. I'll be posting. I post prolifically.
Yeah.
As far as that stuff goes. So.
We'll help get the word out here, courtesy of Destination.
And I always share that stuff on Monterey Music Calendar.
831, yeah.
And the Tribe.
Just get it out and get it going. What's been the reaction you've gotten so far? When you I know it's been real soon, or fairly recent, but it's just got to be awesome seeing old faces for the first time in a year or so, particularly from this side of the microphone looking out. Right?
Oh, it's been wonderful. Like I said, we've played 2 shows so far, and it's great. I think it's gonna be a really cool thing. We're gonna move.
Well, it is, man. You got the crowd was going, the toes were tapping, the drinks were flowing from what I could see from my perspective. And it was a lot of fun. I can't wait for you to. That's something that. Let me stop here. Yeti Performance, getting it together. Did he help organize that gig for you, or how did that come together to play the Sportsman?
Well, yeah, Yeti's there, and Yeti's very, very, very supportive. Definitely. Scott Hampton has been doing a lot of the booking there for that place, and Rod and Scott play together sometimes in one of Rod's other bands, the Johnny Tsunami. And so he talked about getting us there, and so that was good. Scott was there when we played. He introduced the band and everything like that.
Yeah, Scott's really good, man. Part of the Tsunami. And let me. Here's a question I have.
I think we'll be back there pretty soon.
I hope so, man. It's a fun night. Is there a difference, or what is the difference, if there is one, between playing a spot like the Sportsman and then Sly McFly's?
As far as what we do, probably not much.
Nothing at all. Just the fact that
we're just gonna get
just
people,
bringing it all the time.
We're gonna do what we do,
playing with
and we're gonna try to get people engaged in what
That's
we
great.
do, and hopefully they like it. You know? I mean, we're not gonna be, we're not gonna play Brown Eyed Girl. I'm sorry.
What?
But
could you play Margaritaville for me? No. Oh man, you guys suck.
But we're gonna do what we do. And hopefully people like it. We'll sell it hard, and that's.
It's a lot of fun, man. They rock the joint. So much experience in that band, and wisdom and talent. I definitely encourage them. Coming right off of a show Friday night. In fact, I couldn't move all day yesterday.
Oh, talk to me about that, okay?
Mr. Roadie, Mr. Star, Mr. 4
hours.
hours.
On my feet for 4 hours.
Oh man,
it's not like the old days, man. I'm 50 pounds heavier.
I read something about
40 years older. It's just it's.
Yeah,
it's a
killer.
Oh
man, I read one of the comments. Somebody was asking you what that was like at Midnight Hall, and your stuff, the glamour of rock and roll. But you wouldn't stop doing it, would you?
No, and now since now I'm supplying the PA and stuff. I'm packing up the PA, 2 horns, harmonicas, cables, music stand, all this junk.
Right.
And I'm going, oh, please. And I'd get home, and am I going to unload this? No, it's going to stay in the car overnight.
So
Maybe the
nobody
next
really-
couple of days until I can move again. Because, doing these things back to back would be.
Oh, man. But I'll tell you.
Now for Rod, see, Rod was lucky because Rod had a show there the next night.
So he
with
just left
Victory
his
Lane,
stuff.
So he just left his
man,
kit set
that's
up there.
beautiful
and it was
when you
good.
play there.
But yeah,
That's good.
Drummers have it the worst. It's like being a catcher in baseball. You know, they
Oh, man.
they call it putting on the tools of ignorance. Right?
Exactly. Right. Everywhere. No, in fact, I
You're
saw.
back there taking all the
I saw my buddy Jamie
taking all the foul tips and
Maria
everything.
the
you
other
know.
night, and they were talking a little bit about that. So it's so great to have it. Chuck, thanks so much for stopping on by. Can you believe we chopped up almost a half hour right there? Just like magic, isn't it?
Nothing.
A crazy old
We
set.
could go another half hour.
All right,
I have
maybe.
way more to talk about.
All right, good. Let me take a little break, and we'll get back. If you'd like to be a guest, love to have you on the show. I've invited a few folks. We're working it out. Kevin Armstead is also helping out. Just love sitting down, getting the story told, promoting a little bit, and connecting more with the community. So thanks so much for being a part of it. Coach Casey, along with Chuck Brewer, on behalf of Kevin Armstead and Destination 831, thanks so much for being a part of our program.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you,
You're very
Kevin.
welcome.
Good to see you guys.
Great to see you.
Take care.